Because over the last couple of years, enduring the pandemic, the uncertainty, the vaccines, the hope, the heartbreak, the up and down and back and forth and not knowing which way is up, in one way or another, I think we all feel like we have lost the tools that we were given to do the work we do in the world. But we kept juggling without them. And we sure did here at Northwoods. Juggling invisible objects is a really good metaphor for transitioning to online worship and then back to multi-platform worship and envisioning a new reality for the church. And I love that story. And I love the connection with that story and letting go of what no longer serves us. Because that is what ritual does. It provides a place for us to think about our lives, to elevate and bring meaning to what is playing out in them, our own individual living traditions. One of my colleagues of years past, Reverend Kathleen McTeague, says that a spiritual practice is anything that you apply intention, attention, and repetition to. So in that sense, ritual and our coming together, whether it's here or online or a little bit of both, is to the community what spiritual practice is to the individual. I'm going to be talking a lot about spiritual practice in the months to come, but this ritual coming together in whatever form it looks like is a ritual that we share as a practice. But I don't want to leave you just thinking about the tools that you have lost and the things that no longer serve. Because after loss, after sorrow, after burning, as any forest will tell you, after a controlled natural burn, comes new growth, new possibility. Through the flames of release, we open into a new spaciousness. But we do not go forward alone. Like the leaves of a tree, we are all connected to each other and to a single powerful life source. Those of you who are in our physical building today will find in your little craft kits a couple other things. You will find bubbles, and you will find rocks, and you will find Sharpies. In a ritual, we strive to find some kind of balance. So these are some more of the elements that we can bring into our service. We have fire, we have earth, we have air through which we make bubbles happen, and we have the water that composes the majority of our bodies. We are the water. I love that idea because water flows, water adapts, and water is also relentless. Water is enduring. Water trumps stone with time. The bubbles represent our hopes and our dreams, our wishes for the coming year. And the rocks represent the work we have to do and the things we need to get there. And they go together because you cannot arrive at a new vision without doing a little bit of hard work. As we build a new vision of Northwoods together that encompasses the digital world as well as the physical world, we hold tight to our vision, but we also know that there's a lot of hard work that comes into bringing something new to life. And a commitment to stay with the process, not just from me and the people who make worship possible, the musicians and the tech folks, but all of you for showing up in the ways that you do. Let us reflect not on the year that has gone, but on the year that is newly beginning, and where we might find a space of possibility in that new year. What do you wish to fill it with? Take a moment to name those possibilities you wish to bring into your life, silently or out loud, and then use your bubbles and your breath to give those hopes life and send them out into the cosmos. What do you want more of? More rhythm, more routine, more surprise, more silence, more friendship. And if you're at home and have access to bubbles, as some of you do, I'm sure, I invite you to do that. And if not, you can do something that I like to do with a hard problem. This is a good problem to have, but put it in a bubble and blow it away. Today's theme is making the invisible real and the impossible possible, in case you haven't figured that out yet. This is a little bit harder to do with your mask on, I recognize. There is this possibility, but that doesn't work nearly as well. If you want to do a little bit of or you can let my bubbles symbolize your hopes. A famous theological ancestor of ours, Henry David Thoreau, famously said, you've probably seen this on a number of totes and t-shirts and plaques and gift shops, if you have built castles in the air, your work need not be lost. That is where they should be. Now put foundations under them. And that is what we do. We build castles, we build dreams, and we build foundations. We do the work. On your stone, I'm going to invite you to write a word or two that symbolizes that work of what you need to bring into your life to make your hopes real. Where will you place your yeses? Earlier in the pandemic, we talked about how in the future we'll be able to, because so much has been taken away, we can make very intentional choices about what we give our yes to. What will you give your yes to? What tools will you use? And how will you ground what is possible in the work we have to do to get there? During the song, which will start very shortly, I invite you to write a word or two that encapsulates what you need on your rock with your Sharpie. And I've put a chalk paint marker in each of the kits as well, in case you happen to have picked up a very dark colored rock. I hope they work. As we listen to the song that will be beginning shortly, and as we spend some time in silence, I invite you to come forward and leave your rock here in our ritual space, not in the fire, but around it. Every year I have sort of a different kind of fire in mind. I don't know if you probably don't know this, but this year's fire was a lava fire. So having rock around that fire feels appropriate. And if you'd like to write your message on a second rock to take home, I have some extra rocks right here. I know that sometimes we want to bring these things home with us and put them on a windowsill or on an altar or a place we will see them on a regular basis. I close with these words from Reverend Kate Lohr. As we step across this threshold, let this new year be a year of greater awe, greater gratitude, deeper kindness, deeper acceptance, and more courage and conviction for a kinder, more equitable, more sustainable world is not only possible, she is on her way. And in the quietness of this sacred community, we can ever hear her breathing.